Hey everyone, it's Simon from Higher Plane Games, hope you're well. This is my choices and brief overview of what I thought of Minecraft Story Mode. Some people like to see what my choices were and compare and be bitchy about it. So, off you go. First things first, I really appreciated that they seem to have built their Minecraft game inside Minecraft. It felt like it anyway. I really appreciated that and seeing the architecture, especially as someone that doesn't really play Minecraft at all. I've briefly dabbled with it. It didn't get my attention and I've yet to really circle back around to have another go. Minecraft Story Mode initially came out as a 5-episode pack, and so that's what I'd bought in for and that's what I was sold for. I felt like I was then had my trust in buying that 5-pack misused, because actually there's 2 arcs throughout Minecraft Story Mode, and you need to be aware of this if you've not yet bought it. Episodes 1 to 4 cover a thing called the Order of the Stone, and essentially sets out the main characters themselves. I chose the male voice as opposed to the female. I made great friends with Reuben the Pig, loved Reuben the Pig. And I also thought that Lucas was really relatable, actually, as someone who had kind of was a little bit of their own, being bullied into the in crowd, but didn't really want to be there. So, I'd always defend Lucas wherever possible. Generally, really great characters, great voice acting throughout. Really like the music as well. There was some hang drum in there, which I always love. And I really appreciated the fact that in episode 2, the stats are on there now, is that episode 2, despite being a really short episode, you had one choice at the beginning, or that was kind of decided at the end of episode 1, that effectively gave you almost a completely separate episode 2 depending on what you chose. And Telltale had never really done that before, and I really appreciated that. And that they were being really diverse in what they were going for, and quite brave as well, especially for a property that's initially people would kind of go, well, how would you make a story out of Minecraft? Episode 3 and 4 kind of ramped up the tension and the pressure, and we had big drama, fatalities. I know, in a kiddie game, disgusting. I know, but by the time you'd got to the end of episode 4, actually everything had wrapped up. Which I remember at the time, everyone going, well, what the hell's going to happen in episode 5 then? And I remember seeing it in press, and everyone's going, what's happening? Have they forgotten? And then, lo and behold, for those of you that had already, that had already paid out money for the 5-pack, they'd added 3 bonus episodes for 6, 7, and 8, and they dedicated the entire episode 5 to starting off a story that you'd never know how finished if you didn't go and buy the other 3 episodes. Now, 2 things were wrong with that. Firstly, buying all 3 episodes up front cost about 5p, I think it was, more than buying them individually. What's the point? That was stupid pricing and stupid editing. But again, I felt duped, essentially, of not being actually able to get my 5-episode pack and then being done with it and then choosing to buy the DLC as opposed to having my hand forced almost in a way. I can only imagine what parents are of spoilt children. They're like, Mummy, I want it, I want it, I want it. So I tell them to shut up. You know they'll all be going out and buying them for little dearest. And so that was my first issue of that. And episode 5 kind of starts off on a different tangent, gets rid of half the characters from the first arc of 4 episodes and leaves you with a couple of them and introduces some newish characters who don't necessarily stay around. And my big issue with the second arc, essentially 5 through to 8, is that each episode is very much a standalone experiment. Episode 6 was a kind of the very best and the very worst of what Telltale has to offer. It brings in loads of YouTube Minecraft cameos of people who I have no idea of because I don't follow that community, who had quite, in some cases, some really poor voice acting. But set in a murder mystery. But if you removed that episode entirely from the rest of everything else, you would never know because it doesn't advance any of the story whatsoever. And the same for episode 7, which although I really love the whole Palmer and it's a computer that's essentially gone a bit nuts and wants to make everything more efficient and useful, but doesn't see the error in its ways. Very Terminator-like. And there's quite a lot of good film references thrown in there for good measure, which I quite enjoyed. They almost, less so of episode 7, but you could remove it and nothing's actually changed in terms of the story, and it feels like you only get 2/3 of a way through a TV series and they start sticking in some filler episodes because they can't let the final couple of episodes not have those big cliffhangers right at the end to make you go, oh my god, next season's gonna be amazing. This suffers from the same problem, but you could remove the whole second half and get away with it. And the issue then being, it's got a screenshot save thing, sorry about that all, is that when you get to the final episode and you're thrown in like some weird Hunger Games ripoff, it's fun, but it feels like you're doing another weird little standalone experiment that you've been forced to pay for no particular reason, and it really clunkily loops itself back round to try and make it relevant to the beginning again, but it doesn't feel like it's done it very well. And so actually the first 4 episodes, if you take them on their own, showcase some of the very best of what Telltale has to offer, and I'd argue probably episode 7 as well, because I found that really an interesting concept. Some of the other bits actually offer Telltale's very worst and laziest writing, Deus Ex Machina, just issues in general, convenient plot for convenient plot's sake, and I really wished they'd have either just done 2 sets of 4 or padded out for a 5th or included something else for the 5th one so that it just became a proper thing, because it kind of feels like a bit of a ending on a bit of a damp squib. Having said that though, I really do appreciate the graphical style and layout of everything. The voice acting's great, the music is great, and there is some genuinely fantastic moments in the series. But just be aware that if you haven't bought this and you're going to consider going into this, you'll probably need to go for the 8 episode pack. So wait for that to be co-joined together on a sale somewhere, because you know it will happen at some point. And be aware that you're going to have some really weird ups and downs in terms of quality over those 8 episodes. So thank you very much for watching. Be interested to know what your decisions are, and take care. See you in another video on High Playing Games. Bye for now.